Greetings from Valencia, Spain, and welcome to day 2 of the Hearthstone Grand Prix. My name is Frodan, and we're going to be going through with the second day of our 3-day tournament to find out who is going to get $8,000, 15 Hearthstone Championship Tour points, and the right to call themselves the 2016 Valencia champion. Alongside with me in the caster area, we have Lothar, hailing from Team G2. We have Raven from Team Torpedo. And we're going to walk you guys through the first series of the day, which we're going to immediately jump into round 7 of Swiss, or round 8, excuse me, where some players right now are fighting for elimination, and some are just guaranteeing them a spot in the top 16 playoffs, which will start later today. Lothar, how's it going, man? How you doing?
It's awesome. It's really a good day. We had some issues in the morning, but that was, managerial stuff. But we are here for the Hearthstone thing. So, first of all, I'm really excited for the game that we'll have ahead. Gara and JJ, they're both are 5-2. They're really incredible players, and we didn't see Gara for a long time on any stream, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. He hasn't been competing nearly as often, so to your point.
Yeah, so now this is an elimination match for both of them, actually. Because if someone will have 3 losses, and they're both sitting at a 5-2 right now, they basically are out of the top 16, so they won't be able to play in day 3. So it's a high pressure match, I would say, and just loving to see this this kind of duo playing it out. Raven?
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to JJ last night, actually, and we saw him a couple of times on stream yesterday as he sort of was, making a pretty good performance through the tournament so far. But he was actually super relaxed and was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna show up tomorrow, see what happens. I'm not too sort of stressed out or worried either way. So he'll be quite relaxed going into this match. But Gara is probably definitely looking for a victory here to try and push forward and continue his chances into getting the top 16. Is not really had the most impactful results in the past year or so. Nothing too crazy going on, and I know he's really after that. Just the big sort of second breakout performance for Gara.
Oh yeah, definitely. He won the first DreamHack ever, the first DreamHack Bucharest. He was the champion of it, and a follow-up would be quite nice to be the second guy that is winning this, 2 DreamHacks in general.
Yeah, he got to the finals of another one. I believe DreamHack Bucharest in end of 2014 against Tice, and hasn't really been able to repeat that kind of dominance that we saw earlier. So it's difficult because I think Gara had a rough 2015, and I think 2016 he took a step back and said, maybe I'm just doing this wrong. So he started changing a little bit of his play style, started grabbing some more people into his practice group that would probably help him with his weaknesses. And overall, I just feel like Gara has evolved as a player, but I think now the transformation needs to show the results to kind of put himself back in that conversation of one of the better Europe players, because I think people have moved on. People have started remembering more recent performances from Kaka, Super JJ, and now most recently Naaman, Dr. Hippie, Hoy, Sixo. These are the players that are really taking it from the people who used to start in the beginning, like Gara.
Yeah, and he's got the opportunity now to actually take down one of those players that he's doing exceptionally well. We spoke about JJ yesterday in just the sheer consistency he's had in the past year or so. And just no matter what tournament he plays in, he just always goes any open Swiss, he's just guaranteed top 16 all the time. This is probably as close as he's got to being not top 16 placed in the most few recent tournaments, I guess.
Yeah, most Swisses that Garas gets, he always got a record that's really respectable, 7-2 but didn't qualify, or 6-3, pretty good overall. He's never going 0-3 and then just conceding all the way through. He usually plays it every single match. So we'll see if he's able to continue that run through this event. Let's take a look at the standings, by the way, and see how the players are shaping up after 7 rounds of play. We have 2 players who are undefeated with Deathlore and DeVito. You guys got to meet them yesterday. Rounding out some of the players in 6-1, you also recognize some of those names too, such as Crane, Blackout, and Tars, holding it strong for all those concessions.
Yep, and we have also Stan Sivka at the 11th place, which is a player that still didn't have that breakout performance, kinda, as well. But he's one of the players that is really well known in the community, in the pro scene.
Yeah, and we see as well, we saw Bunny Hopper as the last match yesterday. He's currently 6-1, so he still has a really strong chance. And Green Sheep as well. So Green Sheep and Blackout both still in the running, and they were actually the first and second place in the last DreamHack Valencia. So they've, this seems to be their DreamHack they seem to perform at. So they've got a pretty good chance to go through as well.
Well, just to clarify, the last DreamHack Valencia didn't have that kind of impact as this one, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was smaller in general, not the same format,
exactly.
but still.
Yep. Correct, but we have a lot of players here, 250 players, right?
Huh?
In the first day, and now after after today we'll have only 16 that will be battling out on in the single elimination bracket after the Swiss portion. So this is something that everyone is looking for. Like I feel like the top 16 on every single of the Grand Prix of DreamHacks is an achievement on its own. You know, you want to have that in your sleeve. Do you want to say, well, I was top 16 at this DreamHack? Well, this is kind of like a big thing, right? So looking forward to this.
Yeah, especially with this many players, as you said, like getting top 16 in this tournament specifically because there's additional players, but no additional rounds means it's even harder. Like a lot of the 7-2s don't even go through. So yeah, it really is a huge achievement for any player here. And there's so many players that are just on the cusp. Like these are really the rounds where, you know, as we said about the match coming up, where it's make or break. If they lose one more game, they're just out.
Yep.
All right, so the first match, as we guys said, is Super JJ versus Gara. And then afterwards, we have a backup match of Stancifka versus Swiss King. Those matches aren't exactly as meaningful as the one we're about to see, because this one is elimination. If you lose and you go 3 losses, 5-3, you are 100% guaranteed not to make it. Versus if you lose with a series between Sifka and Swiss King, you still have a chance to go through 7-2. So we feel like that one would be a secondary matchup. But I know people have been itching to see some Sifka action because he's one of the players noteworthy in this tournament.
Yeah, well, he's the player that's always bringing something really odd, right?
He almost brought a Yogg-Saron Hunter to the prelim qualifiers for Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, legitimately was like, yeah, I actually, like, he posted a few lists of these are the decks that didn't make the cut for preliminaries. And one of them was, I think, the Cthulhu Priest.
Yep.
One of them was a Yogg-Saron Hunter or Yogg Load. And I think one other ridiculous deck, too. It's like, these are the ones that he cut. Imagine some of the ones that did actually get through.
Well, the worrying thing is as well, like, it wasn't a joke either. He wasn't like, oh,
No,
these are the decks that didn't make it.
wasn't
And it was something
memeing,
like
man.
Beast Rogue or something like that. It was like, no, these were actually the decks I practiced with and, you know, Wade up actually bringing to the tournament. So
Precisely.
it's a lot of fun to watch when he just brings those, even just within more standard decks. Like we used to see him playing, you know, Control Warrior. They'd just be like Iron Beak Owl in there for whatever reason. And it did work out as well.
In Druids, when we were casting Bucharest, he was playing a Druid. That was a kind of different DreamHack because you could have changed your deck list every single round in the top 16. So he was changing it a lot, and he was playing actually 2 Keeper of the Grove and an Owl in a Druid as an additional silence.
It's pretty interesting. I remember Silence Druid had a temporary phase when League of Explorers came out, back when Eerie Statue was first introduced, and you would silence it, so you play Wailing Soul plus like Keeper of the Grove plus Spellbreaker, and you could just keep an Owl, and you would silence your Watchers, silence your Eerie Statues, silence your Ogre Brutes, and just like basically bust your opponent out. Back when 4-mana 7/7s were a rarity. And nowadays, no one really plays that, especially because Wailing Soul is not really relevant anymore.
Well, it's not in the format, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays also people don't maybe remember that, in fact, the first versions of Druids were playing Ancient Watchers anyway. That was like
a long time ago.
Sun Fury Protectors, right?
Right. That was just Ancient Watcher Druid. We just called it Watcher Druid back
exactly.
because it was like the equivalent of innervating a Yeti. You had Innervate Yeti, or you also had Ancient Watcher Yetis. Like, depends on how you wanted to build it.
Yep.
As you can see, Raven's fashionable pants and shoes.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was like a really nice close-up on your crotch.
I don't really know what's going on there. That seems to be the
It
focus.
was very suggestive, and you were folding your legs very nicely. We will go through the round of 16 today, all the way until, I believe, almost the end of round